Hello. Yeah, right. Right. Just a heartwarming video. Just so you know, a heartwarming message. Just to get out there, just to let everyone know. You know that if you're watching this, then obviously you're still here. You know you're healthy. Hopefully, well, you're good enough to watch it. Even if you can only blink, yeah, then you're still here. You make someone happy, and so you make someone happy and someone makes you happy at least. But if not, you've always got yourself. You've always got yourself, because at the end of the day, the only person who you can rely on, and the only person who, you know, thinks the same, not rely is the wrong word, because like obviously your family and things like that, but obviously your faults. So like your faults. So just say if you get a fault and you want to pursue it, whatever, so you got to carry on with that fault, you know, because you got to think that the man or the woman, whoever it was, who invented the TV, yeah, obviously they had that fault in their head. So if they told their friend about it, their friend may have laughed, because obviously it was a bit of a silly idea. They probably thought to themselves, well, that's a bit of a silly idea, so like, you know what I mean, it may have put that person on a downer, so they wouldn't have done it. I've got my book here. I've got this book. I write things in it. You know, it's best to write things down, because they're there. Because you know, like Shakespeare. So I think he's been dead 400 years or something, or when he was born, and then to now it's 400 years, I think. So his legacy has stayed, and it's like, you know, it's still with us now. So in another 100 years time, or at least another 5 years time, he's still going to get spoken about. You know, when it's his birthday, it'll come up on Google and things like that, or you know, such and such. So in 100 years time, it'll be 500 years as well. Like the person who made the TV, or the person who made the telephone, obviously that was in, like, you know, like the 1900s or something. So like that's only been like 100 years, just say. So obviously in another like 300 years we'll remember him, for instance. So but obviously the man who invented the TV, he had a fault in his head, just like the man who invented the telephone, and just like the man who invented like the first games console had a fault in his head, and then obviously pursued it. But if he had told anyone about it, they may have like laughed, they may have found it off-putting, sort of thing. So having faults in your head is not a bad thing, yeah. And these faults in your head come and go. They like 1 minute it's a fault in your head, the next minute it's not a fault in your head. You're thinking of something else. You're probably thinking like, where has anyone got a fag, or have you got a lighter, or I'm hungry or something. So that thought that you had in your head, and you're walking, or you're driving along, or you're laying in bed, or you're doing whatever. So that thought in your head, write it down. Have a little jot down. So like get yourself, like go to Woolworths and get yourself like a 99p pad and a 99p pen. So with £2, yeah, you could be creative. You could be creative. You haven't got to write things in there. You can draw things. You know, drawing is just as good as writing. You know, like if you understand it, that's all that matters. Because obviously the man who invented the TV, obviously, I suppose he would have drawn things. You know what I mean? Because obviously you need components to make the TV. So you know. So it don't matter if you're making a TV, or if like Shakespeare, he had a fault and it was like a story, you know. So yeah, so this is out there to so this could be like mental health and all sort of thing. But it's just to let you know that it's all part of growing up. This is, you've got to write things down, and the main thing, if you're aiming to grow up, you've got to buy yourself a pen and a pad, and you've got to write all your faults down. Even if you have buy a couple of pads, so you could buy one good pad from like, just say Tesco's. So you buy one decent pad, leave that indoors, and then you can take little pads. You could buy a couple of little pads and put them in your pocket. So if you're in work, just say if you're fucking, I don't know, like doing something in work, like sweeping or something, and you know your mind dead, ain't you? You know what I mean? You're sweeping the yard, you're brain dead, ain't you? There's nothing to it. You haven't even got to think about it because it's so simple. But you have these little faults, so you're competent enough to sweep the yard and have a couple of faults. So take this pad that you've got, write down your faults and that, put it on the pad, yeah, so you sweep in, write your faults down on a pad, put it in your pocket, yeah, and then obviously you'll probably forget about it, but when you get home, you'll take your clothes off and all that bollocks, empty your pockets out, and then you've got your pad. And you're like, oh, fucking, you had this brainwave, like, oh, I thought about making a TV, because obviously we're talking about, hypothetically, it's like 1800, and he had that thought about the TV, so he was sweeping, wrote it down on his little notepad, and then when he got home, he wrote it in his big notepad. But that's like hypothetical, but obviously part of growing up, obviously, you know, is about, well, we don't know. You don't know what life's all about, really. All you know is well, before you know it, you're already born. So that's, you can't class that as you already know, because you're already here. So the only thing you can class it as is one day you will, you know what I mean, like die. Like, but obviously before you die, yeah, that's one thing you know. So that's the goal, is dying. Yeah, but before you die, you wanna grow up and you wanna write your thoughts down and you want to become someone, because in 400 years time Shakespeare is probably still going to be known. In 400 years time the man who invented the TV is still going to be known. The man who invented the telephone is still going to be known. Like, but in 400 years time, are you going to be known? Am I going to be known? I hope so. I hope, like, you know, for years and years and years. But, you know, but what for? Like, you know what I mean? I haven't invented a telephone, I haven't invented a TV, so obviously I'm not going to be known for 400 years. But, like, I had a fault, so that I had a fault, and I'm sharing it with you, because I've got nothing else better to do, and I've been having faults, and I thought I'd buy a pen and a pad, and I write my faults down, and then when I die, someone will find them, and they'll be like, fucking, this man was a genius, this man was. And then, yeah, well, it could be that, or I don't know. But that's the only thing you know in life. I don't know what else I was going to chat about. I've written some other things down here. Oh, yeah, think about it, on my thumbnail, I don't know, it was a bit of a shitty one. I put numbers 1 to 9 and 0, and I've done the letters 1 to Z. So with them, and like the letter A, you could put a little dash above it, or a C, or whatever, you know what I mean, change it, whatever. But with them, so whatever, how many it was, a 24, so 34 little digits there. You can write a story. You can write a story about yourself, an autobiography, or you write about someone else. But it's best to not about yourself. You want someone else to write about you. Like, you want to be someone's idol. So when someone says to you, oh, you're my idol, you are, because, like, you invented the TV, and I'll sit there and watch TV all day. So, like, you know, like, the man who invented TV is my idol. But anyway, so there's that. What else? The man who made everyone, right, I didn't really write much else. Dartford Crossing, fucking, like, so, for talking about thinking, yeah, so, like, people, I don't know if they're still there, but people are on the Dartford Crossing. There's like a gang of people, and I think I just briefly see it. They're on I think they've closed the crossing. Like, what do these people think they've got? Must have, like, even if they live on the streets, like, and they've got to eat, haven't they? So, like, there ain't a McDonald's on the crossing, for instance. Like, so, like, that's, I don't know what that was, why that's all about. I need this video to be like at least 10 minutes. Fucking, it flies, doesn't it? I've lost on me. I did have one concurrent viewer though, and I do thank you very, very much. They've gone now. Well, sort of wrap it up now, but like, couple of seconds. But yeah, I appreciate it, and I thank you everyone for listening. It's, you know, it's good here. Thank you.